Yeah, I'm in the lab, man. I should turn the air on fire, man. This is hot in this motherfucker. Today we're gonna talk about the one thing that the people in the Manosphere are missing. The one thing that the content creators in the Manosphere is missing. You know what that one thing is? Spiritual truth. See, the Manosphere, like Red Pill, all that, they talk about women, how to get women, how to avoid being played by women. They talk about all that stuff. They talk about, how to put your purpose first and all that stuff, but they don't really talk about how to get your spirit right. They might talk about yoga, meditation, but it's like, nah, you gotta give people the overall picture. Like, so I'm a believer in, the Most High Elohim, and I'm a believer of, Yahuwah, Yahusha the Messiah, aka Jesus the Christ, God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Like, I'm a believer. I'm not Christian now. I'm not Christian, but I do believe. And so, people got their own beliefs. My belief's not really a belief because my shit backed by fact. You know what I'm saying? The person I believe in created all this, and they created everybody in it. So that I know that for fact, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? And we'll talk about that later on. But you can't fix the outside without fixing the inside. And I feel like a lot of YouTube Manosphere content creators are trying to teach people how to fix the outside without really focusing too much on the inside. And I feel like it's a recipe for disaster, because you gotta know who you are. And that's where we gotta start it from. Some content creators, they started, from the point of sex, because that's what really matters in relationships. We're here because of sex. Let's not get that confused. So, I just feel like a lot of content creators, they talk about the shallow shit when it comes to the Manosphere. They talk about how to get girls, how not to get played, how to be an alpha, how not to be a beta, how to be attractive to women and all this stuff. But they don't really talk about the deep shit. And I feel like that's where I stand out. I'm going to talk about the spirituality of things and why spirituality is important. It's important to know who you are and whose you are. Because if not, you're going to be lost out here. Like, for instance, you got a lot of people out here that's kind of nervous and scared about how the way the world is going, but Deuteronomy talks about all of this. So, and not just Deuteronomy, other books in the Bible. So it's just, we need more content creators to not only, keep doing what y'all doing, but talk about the spiritual side. Talk about how people can uplift themselves spiritually. Talk about how people can get grounded in truth. And I feel like my message is different because I'm not religious. I'm not a subscriber of Judaism, Christianity, or Islam. I believe in scripture, though. By me believing in scripture, it allows me to research and have ears to hear, and it allows me to be able to be receptive to truth. And it allows me to want to know more so I can research and do my due diligence. And man, it's just so much overwhelming evidence that we have to believe that, Elohim, the creator, has built all this and like so forth and so forth. But that's I feel like the Manosphere is missing that, man. I don't really hear too many people talking about the spiritual side of elevating yourself. Reading your scriptures, knowing who you come from, knowing that this is not about flesh and blood, but about principalities and spirits. I feel like we really gotta understand that this stuff that we see is surface level, but you gotta understand that there's a deeper layer. There's an adversary, there's a good and a bad, there's a left and a right, there's an action for a reaction. And until we get down to the deep stuff, then teaching niggas how to get women not gonna matter. Teaching people to follow their purpose don't matter, because how you gonna know your purpose, but you don't even know who you are? You don't know whose you are. That's gonna make your purpose be tougher. You're gonna have a shallow purpose. And, I feel like especially brown people, we need information telling us how to get grounded in truth. We need information telling us how to be able to get to the source. That's why everybody's so depressed and fucked up now in their head, because they ain't at the source. I feel like if you're depressed, you don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. That's why I don't claim depression. I might be very sad, but I still see the light at the end of the tunnel. My sadness can be changed by my outer circumstances, you know. But I'm not depressed, but I'd be happy too. But it's like, you know, the world is going so crazy because everybody's straying from the Elohim. People are straying from Yahuwah. And so some people don't want to hear that. They're like, man, whatever, man, I don't want to hear that shit, man. All right. You know, hey, look, you can avoid reality, but why they say you can avoid consequences, but you can't avoid the reality. Somebody, but pretty much saying you can avoid this, but when the shit hit the fan, you can't avoid that shit when it hit the fan. And so, y'all better wake up, man, because as you can see, the world's going crazy, man, and people are misguided. They're angry. They're hurt. They're upset. They're lost. They're scared. I mean, it's a lot going on, man. So I want to see more content creators talk about the spirituality. And that's where I'm going to set myself apart. Y'all can mark this video down, because I'm not just going to tell you. I tell you how to get girls. I tell you what to say to girls. I tell you how to not get played. I tell you, you know, if she does this, she likes you. If she does that, she don't like you. I can teach you all that. I can teach you about money. We teach you about, you know, life insurance. I can teach you about how to sell cars. I teach you a lot of things. That's actually with books to read, but none of that shit matters if you don't know who you are inside. If you don't know where you come from, you don't know anything about your spirituality, then the physical not gonna matter. It's like having a beautiful car on the outside, but on the inside is no seats. Like, that shit not gonna matter, man. But you know, I just want y'all to understand, man. The Manosphere, Red Pill, MGTOW, they skipped over the spirituality part, and they trying to get to the how to get women or how to stay on your purpose or what to watch out for. And it's like, nah, man. Some people do it. Some people do, you know, and shout out to some of the content creators who do, you know, intertwine, you know, Elohim with their message. Shout out to Soul Immortal. He talks about scripture and how to lock in and get right. Shout out to him for that. But a lot of people ain't, you know, a lot of people not digging that deep. They're trying to fix the outside. And this is like a rambling video. This ain't really gonna hit. This ain't gonna really be too crazy. But it's like, man, we need to address that. We need more content creators that are grounded in spiritual truth to come out and make content, because this is what the people need. Forget how to cold approach women and forget how to not be beta. Like, we need people to talk about how we can be spiritually grounded and how we can be, you know, how can we receive the truth? How can we, what should we be studying? What should we be looking at? Where did we come from? Like, we need answers, man. And, you know, I got some answers. Stay tuned. I know who can give y'all answers, but that's why I try to make the content I make, because it ain't just about the shallow shit. It's about the deeper stuff. It's about spirituality. It's about the truth, knowing who you are and whose you are and where you come from. It's about knowing all that. And if you don't know that stuff, then the outside stuff not gonna matter at all. So that's a little something, man.